When you think of Japanese art, you might imagine elegant folding screens, ukiyo-e woodblock prints, or perhaps even anime. But before all of that, there was something much more playful. A set of scrolls filled with rabbits, frogs, and monkeys acting like people. This is the Chōjū-giga, scrolls of frolicking animals. They are often called the very first manga in Japan, but behind the famous images lies a fascinating and at times mysterious history. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into these scrolls, who drew them, what they meant, and how they shaped Japanese art. The Chōjū-giga consists of 4 hand scrolls, traditionally referred to as ko, otsu, hei, and te. They are part of an old system of ordering in Japan, much like A, B, C, D in English. These scrolls are preserved today at Kōzan-ji Temple in Kyoto and are thought to have been painted between the late Heian and Kamakura periods, roughly the 12th to 13th centuries. Unlike illustrated texts, the Chōjū-giga contains no writing, no captions, no explanations. Only images flow across the scrolls, meant to be read as you unroll them from right to left. This silent, continuous style of visual storytelling is one of the reasons many regard the Chōjū-giga as the origin of manga. Here's the first mystery we don't know. There is no signature, no colophon, no record that directly tells us who the artist was. One theory points to Toba Sojo, a Buddhist priest and skilled painter active in the 12th century. He was famous for humorous, sometimes satirical paintings. Because of this, many assumed he must have created Chōjū-giga. But stylistic analysis shows that the 4 scrolls were drawn by different hands, at different times. In other words, they're more like an anthology of works than a single, unified project. So while Toba Sojo is often mentioned, the truth is that the identity of the artists remains unknown, and perhaps that mystery is part of the charm. Scroll A, Ko. In the first scroll of Chōjū-giga, animals such as rabbits, frogs, and monkeys are drawn behaving like humans. They are shown playing in the water, walking in a line, and taking part in activities like sumo wrestling and archery. The scenes are full of movement and humor, showing the animals in a lively and playful way. The scroll captures a cheerful and light-hearted spirit through these animated and humorous drawings. Scroll B, Atsu. This scroll depicts a wide range of animals: horses, cows, dogs, and birds. It also includes exotic creatures such as giraffe-like beasts, lion-like animals, and the mythical dream-eater Baku. With its detailed, naturalistic style, the scroll feels more like an illustrated study of the animal world than a humorous story. Instead of jokes or action, it offers a quiet, thoughtful appreciation of nature and careful observation. Scroll C, Hei. The first half of Scroll C depicts human pastimes and customs, such as playing Go and Sugoroku, as well as contests of strength like ear-pulling and neck-pulling. These scenes reflect aristocratic amusements, with some shown in a humorous, exaggerated way. For example, losers stripped naked. In the latter half, animals appear again in human form, continuing in a comical, caricature-like style similar to Scroll A. However, the brushwork is less refined than in Scroll A, giving the drawings a looser, more spontaneous feel. Scroll D, Te. Scroll D is the most fragmentary of the set, made up of scattered scenes rather than a continuous narrative. Its focus is on groups of people shown in playful and humorous ways, including performances, entertainment, and religious festivities. The overall tone is lighthearted, centered on fun and games. Scholars also note that some parts of this scroll may have been added or copied at a later date, making its origins less certain than the other volumes. Each scroll has its own unique character, almost like different episodes of a comic series. Together, they showcase a broad spectrum of medieval humor, from slapstick gags to social satire. Through animals and people, these scrolls offer a valuable glimpse into the culture, religion, and recreational life of the time. So why use animals to represent people? In Buddhist culture, animals often stood for human weaknesses like greed, foolishness, and pride. By drawing animals acting like nobles or religious leaders, the artist could criticize society in a humorous way without directly offending anyone. The monkey dressed as a monk, for example, might have been a light criticism of dishonest Buddhist monks. The rabbits and monkeys could represent noble families or even warriors, shown in silly or exaggerated ways. You can think of it like a medieval Japanese version of a political cartoon, only with rabbits and frogs instead of government officials. From an art historical point of view, Chōjū-giga was very original and ahead of its time. Line drawing. The use of flowing, confident ink lines with almost no color shows a style that later became common in manga and anime. Motion. The rabbits and frogs are depicted mid-jump, mid-dive, or in dynamic poses. This sense of movement is unusually vivid for the period. No words. Unlike most scrolls, there are no written explanations. The pictures tell the entire story visually. In short, it's not just charming. It represents a new way of telling stories with images. Here's another surprising fact. Chōjū-giga wasn't always famous. During the Edo period, it was largely unknown outside scholarly and temple circles. It was only in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, when Japanese art was introduced abroad, that the scrolls began to attract attention. Western scholars, eager to trace the origins of manga and caricature, hailed Chōjū-giga as Japan's first comic strip. Ironically, this overseas enthusiasm made Japanese people themselves rediscover and reevaluate the scrolls. Today, Chōjū-giga is often introduced as the ancestor of manga. Is that strictly true? Not exactly. It was not intended as entertainment for mass audiences, nor did it lead directly to the manga industry. But its techniques, sequential art, humorous exaggeration, satire, and pure visual storytelling, are undeniably manga-like. That's why modern manga artists often see it as a spiritual predecessor. Even the idea of using animals to comment on society continues today, in everything from children's cartoons to satirical comics.